sorry, so I think we're live now from Facebook. Can you just give us the overview of where the hurricane is and how fast it's traveling, et cetera?
Well, here's an overview of the hurricane and the latest estimate. I keep getting new pieces of information for the hurricane specialist. We're now at 105 miles an hour, and looks like about 145 miles east-southeast of Wilmington, and we're starting to get those tropical storm force wind gusts. Let's check it out on the radar. We do see the center of Hurricane Florence, but really we need to point out that the system's large, so you're already getting these tropical storm force winds reaching the shore. It's these rain bands that you can see some of the highest rainfall and also some of those high winds. So we are on track with the forecast, and we're already seeing some of the impacts in North Carolina.
We talk about the storm surge and what are the points that will have probably the worst?
The storm surge is the number one killer in these tropical systems, and the rain is number two. But when we look at this storm surge, it's a real problem because all this, the high winds and especially lasting a long time makes it a bigger problem. But look at this. For South Carolina, a portion of South Carolina could get 4 to 9 feet. North Carolina, 9 to 13 feet, which is a staggering amount of storm surge. Very dangerous, could be very deadly. And 4 to 9 feet, even in the upper coast of North Carolina, far away from the center. So think about it, the longer we keep those hurricane force winds, and that's happening because of this forecast, the longer you have time to push that water inland. So the Neuse River, the Pamlico Sound and the river, you just keep pushing. Those rivers usually flow out. They're going to start flowing in as this water comes in from the storm surge, and miles inland you can see flooding from the storm surge. So it's a very dangerous situation.
And what can you tell our readers more inland in Asheville and Greenville specifically? It seems like they're kind of far away from the coast, but what can you tell them?
You know, for inland, you look at points inland where you might not see the storm surge, but you're going to still have another problem with the rainfall. The problem we have is this system is slowing down. So when you look at Raleigh, Asheville, Charlotte, look at the rainfall totals. You can still get 6 to 10 inches of rain around Charlotte and Raleigh, but look at Asheville. You can still get this 4 to 6 value as far away from the storm as Asheville, and that's particularly dangerous because a lot of times that'll come really quickly, and that could cause that flash flooding, and that's why we're trying to communicate. It's not just the coast, it could be inland. And the other thing to remember here, little shifts in that forecast, some of these higher values can shift in different directions. That's why we're really urging everybody to keep paying attention to the situation because it does change as the system moves inland.
So it seems inland as of right now is more of an issue with rain versus the wind speeds. Is that what the scenario is?
It is, and if you think about it, you look at the points inland, it's the rain that we're really worried about, but here's the other problem that we have. If you think about this, still a depression, 8 a.m. on Sunday, 8 a.m. on Monday, so if you put all that rain over these areas for a prolonged period of time, your soil starts to get saturated. So if you have some of that wind, you can start downing trees, which means power outages. Power outages are going to be significant with this event, some of them lasting quite a long time.
So the hurricane is expected to make landfall early Friday morning, right? And then what happens next so people kind of understand what the trajectory will be?
So yeah, we're looking at landfall Friday, really into the evening hours Friday morning, but with time, really slow progression with time. So 8 o'clock Friday. Think about this, landfall and then hardly moving at all over the period of Friday, very short distance. So the problem we have here with that short distance is you just prolong the winds. And then with time, still a storm in South Carolina. So we're still having some winds by Saturday morning. And then finally, we have a system coming in from the Midwest that's going to, by Monday and into Tuesday, finally sweep all this out of there. But the problem is, even when all this leaves, the water's left behind. So you could still have rivers and creeks still in flood for a week after this.
And I know we talked so much about storm surge, but just to reiterate, how fast does it happen? Because people think that they have time to prepare or time to escape. Can you explain? And that's not necessarily the case.
That's not the case. The storm surge, when you think you have time with the storm surge, we've been looking at that quite a bit, is the number one reason that people lose their lives in these tropical systems, with the rain being second. And it's a violent movement of water. It's above land. And when you think about these values that we've been talking about, another addition here is the waves are on top of that. So you're talking about the violent movement of water. This water can destroy houses. So it's not like a gentle rise of water. This is a huge push of the ocean moving inland, and that can destroy houses and incredibly dangerous and deadly.